Welcome to a Proactive Impulse. My name is Mark Cosgrove. In the first part of this video, we looked at interview skills for the interviewee. Now let's flip it around and think about it from the perspective of the person conducting the interview. So if you're an HR person, you know what you're doing. But for the rest of us who are leaders and managers, we've never had any training in this. In fact, the first time I ever did an interview, probably like most of you, I just kind of asked the same questions of the interviewees that somebody had asked of me when I got my job. And that can go both ways. If we understand the nature of the questions we're asking and we can properly interpret the answers we're getting, then it's great. But sometimes we're asking questions and we don't even know why. An extreme example of this was I was conducting a seminar for university students in their final year. And one young man came up to me at the end and he said, Mr. Cosgrove, he said, how do I answer this question? And the question was, if you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? Now, I don't know how to answer that question. I think that's a completely ridiculous question. And what a torture of this poor kid who's just trying to do a good job in the interview, trying to get a job, trying to graduate, trying to get ahead in life. And the problem is, I bet if we could track down the interviewer, they didn't know how to interpret the answer that they would get. Now maybe some behavioral psychologists came up with that question as a way to reveal something really key and critical about the interviewee. But the problem is, none of us know what that is. I mean, if you do, great, please send me an email and tell me what that means. But for most of us, answering that question would be nonsense. Asking that question is nonsense. So don't ask a question of an interviewee unless you understand what it is you're trying to uncover. So that's why behavioral questions are great. All you have to do to prepare is think about your company, think about the department and the nature of the work, and ask them to tell you about times in their life where they faced some of the challenges that they're going to face working for you. Tell them, ask them questions about times in their life when they worked well on a team, or that a team didn't work well, when they faced some adversity, things like that. They're going to allow the person to open up and really reveal to you who they are, how they like to work, what works for them, what doesn't, what's important to them and what isn't. And in that way, you'll start to understand, is this a person that I'm going to be able to work with over the medium to long term? And really think about the kind of job you're asking them to do and ask questions related to that. I think probably the best interview question I ever asked somebody was, we were hiring somebody for an operations role. So this person was going to be in charge of all of the minute details of the day-to-day operation of our company. And I asked the person, his name was Tom, and I said, Tom, what stresses you out? Now, in my mind, I wanted, if he said nothing, I'd know he was unreliable, because everyone gets stressed out about something. But he answered it brilliantly. He said, I get stressed out when things don't go the way they're supposed to go. How about, wow, that's who you want running your operations, a person that is committed to things going the way they should go. So prepare yourself ahead of time. Write down some good questions that are going to help you uncover if this is the kind of person that can do the job and that you want to work with over the long term. My name is Mark Cosgrove, and this has been a Proactive Impulse.